What's happening, people? You're through to another episode of Everyone's a Pundit. Yes, we're back with episode 2 now. We're moving. And I've got a new guest with me today. Introduce yourself, my guy.
6 times, baby. 6 times. Stop it. No,
Man coming with 6 times. Give your name, man.
My name's John, good friend of Leon's. Big Liverpool fan, as obviously. Yeah, that's me.
All right. And then you already know. If you watched the first show, you'd already know my guy over here.
Patrick Tyrant, a.k.a. Young Swaggy Daniels.
Come on.
Tottenham through and through. When you see the T, you see the P. When you see the P, it represents P.
Yes, man. Come with the slogan. All right. So basically, what I wanted to get into today is, seeing as we've got the new guy on, John, Liverpool fan, we'll get into some Liverpool chat. Now, one thing I want to tell everybody about John, John is a very, very nice and humble guy. And I used to say to John in our football groups, I used to say to him, John, I'm sorry if you get hit with the stray bullets, because I will fling off shots at other man, and I'll be like, John, I'm sorry if you get hit with the stray bullets. But what I would like to say is, at some point last season, John turned, and I started saying, nah, you need to start getting hit with the bullets intentionally now. So yeah, man, how is it for Liverpool? Obviously, you lot have been in the shadow of United for pretty much your whole life. But now you lot,
the whole bullet, you know.
But now you lot are doing all right, innit? So what are you saying? What are you saying?
Not gonna lie, I'm a very, very happy Liverpool fan. I can't even put into words like what Jurgen Klopp has done for our team, and put us back to where I think, you know, not that we deserve necessarily, but like where I think we should be, you know, for the size of the club, you know, the number of supporters it's got, the history, and I'm gonna hold on to that, you know. So I'm just a happy Liverpool fan right now. So I really can't ask for more, to be honest. So yeah.
And Pat, do you reckon that you lot can catch Liverpool?
It would be hard. If I'm being honest though, when I look at teams, I think the model that we would build on or try and follow would be Liverpool's, because they've been that team where they were finishing 5th, 6th, 7th, even 8th. You know, there's been times where Liverpool haven't been the Liverpool of old, but they've always maintained. They've always had a good core of players, decent manager. They've always been in and out of the Champions League doing bits, and then for them to then push on. Because I mean, I used to have a banner with a few of the Liverpool boys because they always used to get onto Tottenham, and I've been like, for the last 5 or 6 years we finished above you comfortably. But last season, at the beginning of the season, I was like, I don't know if we're gonna finish above Liverpool this year, man. And then the way they just shot off, I was like, nah, we ain't catching them. And then literally from the beginning of the season, it's like a 2-horse race between City and Liverpool, Liverpool City. So going back, can we catch Liverpool? I don't know. They are. I'd say Liverpool and City are levels above the rest of the teams. But if I was to try and say a model that we can copy or build off, it would be Liverpool in terms of the manager, how long he's been, what kind of manager he is, how he's developed players. Because Klopp hasn't bought finished articles. Every player that he's bought, he's actually made better.
True.
When you guys bought in Mane, people, you know, scoffed at the price tag. They were like, oh, why are you not buying Mane for? Was it 35 million, 33 million? Yeah, something like that from Southampton.
A few another Southampton player
exactly,
again.
That's it.
You know.
Yeah, that baffled me. Bare man from Southampton.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, can't explain it. I guess I can't explain that. You know, it must be some sort of transfer policy that we've got going over there. And I know that Southampton have always had a good
scout for the youth, isn't it? So that must be what it is.
Unknown European players that have got talent, and then they come to Southampton and they just build off that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, look at your manager, Poch. He wouldn't go to Southampton if there weren't the right type of players there. Do you know? He was able to get those players in. He was able to become the manager he became from Southampton. I might be putting a lot more into that than what it really is, but there's clearly something in the water in Southampton, isn't it? So.
Well, anyway, John, let's cut to the chase. Can you lot win the league next year?
Yes, and I'm putting it out there. Yes, we can win the league. Like, I'm gonna wait.
Screenshot. We don't even need to screenshot now.
Yeah,
we just need to play the video back.
No, on a real, like, people are forgetting that we nearly won the league with a team or a squad. In fact, with a team of about 15 players last year. Remember that? We didn't use the whole of our. We had quite a small.
Yeah.
Our 11 or 11 players that we play like week in week out were almost the same players like week in week out. You know,
Yeah.
As Pat has mentioned before in the group, Salah didn't get injured.
Yeah.
VVD didn't get injured.
But this is the thing. Do you
a lot
think,
of our key players
do you think
weren't
that
getting
you
injured.
guys will have that? I mean, I wouldn't say it's luck because it is luck.
That is luck. Yeah, it's
is
luck.
The fact that no key players were injured or out for a period of time.
Yeah.
Do you think that's possible again for a whole season? 38 games plus Champions League games plus cup tie. It's a lot to ask.
It is a lot, but I think if you look at Klopp's history, even back at Dortmund, he always had a cycle of about 14 to 15 players that he would use.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know part of their kind of recruitment program is to buy players that really don't get injured. Or if they do get injured, they heal quick and they're back in the team.
I get
you know, so when you look at the likes of Gini, he's been injured, but give it 2-3 games, he's back in the team again.
Yeah.
You know,
so
so
Lallana's the only guy that doesn't.
well,
fit
he
that
weren't bought by
mold.
Klopp.
He weren't bought by Klopp.
You know,
Yeah.
so when you look at the players that he's bought since he's been at the club, hardly any of them, if
been
any,
out.
have been injured for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Apart from say Keita, you know, like he's probably the one.
Of course, but
you know,
he was almost bought injured though, wasn't he? In a sense, he hobbled into his medical.
but to answer your question though, like I think yes, we can win the league. I think you know, like my point was basically was going to say is that I don't think you know our squad is as good as some of the other squads in the league currently. Yeah.
I think other than City, I'd probably say you got the.
No, he's talking about the squad though, not
squad.
the first 11.
Not the first
I still
11.
say the squad is better than most.
Well, what? When you take the first 11 out, who you lot got on the
But
bench?
this is what I'm saying. You know,
Well,
that
if you take the
we would
first,
struggle.
they got Keita, they've got Lallana when he's fit.
Lallana ain't fit, and Lallana's not really.
Does not doing bits.
Does Fabinho make your first 11?
I think he should.
Now he does.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay, so
Now
I was
he
going to
does.
say him, but
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if he's.
Yeah, Fabinho's
Because now
first
that
11.
he's kind of got his place in the team now, it's kind of allowed us to push Henderson forward into that kind of number
Okay, so
6
so
role.
does Hendo make your first 11?
Yes.
Okay, so then you've got
Really
Lallana, Keita.
When Wijnaldum is on the bench, then
No, he would probably start
He'll
as well.
start as well.
Because let me tell you, like, Klopp's got favourites.
yeah.
People don't like to admit it. But he's kind of not favourites. Maybe that's a strong word, but he's got an
think
11.
all managers
like
do,
your
man.
trusted player.
Yeah,
Trusted
yeah,
player. Like, he put Gini up front against Barcelona.
yeah.
Put him up
he
front.
did, didn't he? And he
False number 9.
Yeah.
Like,
I
you know, like,
you wouldn't.
think,
It's unheard of, but it worked.
well, you know,
In the second
leg, it worked. In the first leg, it didn't.
Yes.
We lost 3-0.
Yeah,
What,
we know.
what I would say though is, I totally get that you're marching on. You had the mad points, but as we've just discussed, players will get injured. So you did have that last season, but players will get injured. Is my belief, and you need to strengthen. And so far, I can't really see that you lot in the transfer market. Are you lot looking to strengthen, or because I can't see you lot really being linked with anybody really?
I think I'll be lying if I said I weren't like worried about our transfer activity.
Yeah.
But then there's been many times in previous seasons where I've been worried about why we're bringing in particular players like Andy Robertson, for example. Like, why are you spending 8 million on Andy Robertson?
Yeah.
But like, all that now tells me now is that we need to start trusting in Klopp a bit more.
Yeah,
And
true.
trusting in the process, trusting in what the team or what he's trying to do there.
Yeah.
Now, it's one thing for us, all of us to sit here and look and be like, well, you know, you finish second in the league, you must like strengthen, and I get all of that, and I'm an advocate of that. I'm a believer of that. You know, if you want to push on, you have to strengthen your team. You can't just have the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know,
You can't rest on your laurels.
However, Klopp is a patient manager. He's shown that to us by waiting for VVD until the season or the January after. Very patient manager. So I feel as fans, Liverpool fans, I'm not sure about other fans, but Liverpool fans just need to be patient and trust in the manager a little bit more.
I think you guys will be alright, to be honest. You've got Ryan Brewster, who's doing bits in the games at the moment. He's highly rated and highly talked about. Still got Shaqiri.
Yeah, he's injured at the moment, by the way.
Yeah, he's around. He's there. Obviously, you've got the other guys we spoke about, Keita. Fabinho, if he doesn't make it. Milner's always a utility guy that can
everywhere, innit?
Oxlade-Chamberlain as well. He's another forgotten soldier. So
didn't he come back? Well, he got injured again.
Sorry, he's back.
Okay,
but
he's not
still
full fit.
match
Yeah. He's going to take it. Well, he's got a pre-season now, innit? To get stuck in.
The only thing I'd say where Liverpool, are lacking is probably a quality centre back to sit back.
Gomez.
Yeah. I don't know. I need to see a lot more of him, to be honest. I want to see Gomez.
I think Gomez already has attributes to be a top centre back, and I think he's kind of shown that. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, like people are going to say, he played with Van Dijk, so it kind of he's still young.
Yeah.
He's Klopp will give him time to mature in that team. Lovren ain't leaving.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, Lovren's not going to be leaving, so I don't think we're going to be getting another centre back. So if I was Klopp, I'll be looking at another forward to supplement our attacking line, because a bit like you said with the injuries, if Mane got injured, who's coming on to replace him? Who's replacing Mane or Salah?
That's who needs to take some time out, because he was a problem last year. He needs to take a little time out.
Whoa, he just got to the final of the AFCON.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
He's not going to be back in time for our first. He's not going to go back in time for the Charity Shield.
You guys will really have to manage his minutes though, man, because he's played the whole season with no rest. So you don't want him to burn out.
We need him to burn out. We need him to burn out.
He's got to be managed really, because he's a top player and you don't want him burning out, man.
No,
picking up niggles and muscle injuries.
Top player, but again, I think it goes down to, because like when we had that Luis Suarez in our team. The guy,
that
even when you got
Suarez,
that guy, he also kind of like when he got injured, he would come back really quickly and he would almost come back and hit the ground running. So I just think again, like it goes back to the type of players that we've been recruiting recently. Is that if they do, obviously this is still to be proven, I guess, in terms of them being injured, come back quickly. But if Mane was to get injured, I think he would be back, come back fitter and stronger. So I'm not too worried in the sense of. Us picking up injuries, but again, that's still to be seen. I guess.
Going back to the centre back point, who would you say your starting centre backs? Obviously, you got Van Dijk. Who would you say is the best person to start alongside him
next season?
Matip has to start.
Matip, yes,
has to above Gomez.
Rotted.
Because one thing about Matip, and there were games he played better than VVD.
Serious.
People, this is what I'm saying. I guess.
No, he's had to put the phone down, boy. Let me get into this one.
No. There are games when he has performed better than VVD, and people are forget. To be fair, I can't remember the games, but there have been games that he has performed better. Not only that, I think when you have them both at the back, that he offers that little bit more experience that Gomez, because he's been known to be a bit rash in challenges and stuff like that. So I think Klopp still trusts in Gomez. But I think for me personally, I would start with the pair that got you to the final, with the pair that were played the majority of the season last season. Why would you disrupt that?
True.
I get that.
And if one of them get injured, there's nothing wrong in bringing in a Gomez. If you wanted to rest one of them, there's nothing in Gomez as backup, and I'm happy with those. To be fair, because they've not proven me wrong.
They've not let you down.
They've not let us down so far. So
all right, so we have it there. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers, we have it. John thinks that Liverpool are going to win the league next year.
I think we can win the league. We can.
No. All right, so we don't do sitting on the fence on everyone's a pundit. No sitting on the fence. So, your top four, because you weren't here last year. Let's hear it.
My top four.
Last week, not last year. Last week.
My top four. If I was to be honest, I'm expecting Man City to do it again. I'll be honest with you.
Okay, so he doesn't think Liverpool are going to win the league. He ain't got that much belief. He ain't got that much belief.
No, he's an honest fan. I appreciate it. I appreciate an honest fan. Instead of a fan that's going to come out and do wildness.
Ruben.
No, I'll be honest. Like, look at Man City, bro. No.
I respect that. You don't think Liverpool are going to win the league, so that means that they're still going to be in our shadow. Liverpool cannot win the league. That is the fact of the matter right now. The best team they've had in yonks, they can't win the league. So that's it. But anyway,
Liverpool,
I'll eat that one.
Man City.
I'll eat that one. Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea. I think they're going to surprise a few people.
Okay.
This is not. I'm not trying to throw shade at Spurs fans, by the way. And Spurs, I think they'll finish top four again. I think Man United still got work to do. I think that they've got there's a lot happening at Man United for me. For them to, and with a newish manager in that role, I think it's a lot to ask him to go in there and turn those guys into what they were before Sir Alex left. It takes time.
But Chelsea, no, a new manager as well.
I hear that.
No signings.
But they've already got a squad that is performing, whereas you don't.
They ain't got Hazard.
Okay, but they've got a squad.
They ain't got Hazard.
They've got.
Chelsea have got a very good squad, but Lampard does not know his best 11.
And they ain't got Hazard. They ain't got Hazard.
16. So
We've even spoken about it. Hazard carried them, and when he was performing badly, they were dying.
That's true.
But it's his shout.
Oh yeah. I'm not trying. I'm just saying.
I just think that they're gonna surprise a few people. That's what I think.
Yeah. Fair enough.
They've got a strong squad, and I'm expecting them with that squad's won the league. People are forgetting that as well.
3 years ago.
True.
Yeah,
That's
3 years
okay.
ago.
Yeah, with Hazard, with Hazard. However, no, but that squad's won the league.
Yeah,
There's
I hear that.
There's a team of winners there.
Yeah. You need winners in your dressing room.
So-
We say about Chelsea every year they seem to bag a
They
trophy.
still do something,
They
innit?
do something.
So
I don't know how
annoying.
they do it.
So
And
annoying.
that's with rotating managers.
I know, it's crazy.
Not even
Yeah.
with a structure or
Yeah.
with a manager in the.
No matter what's going on, they bag a trophy. It's,
But
know-
that has to come to an end at some point.
Yeah.
mate,
Yeah.
Has to, man. I'm hoping it's this season anyway. But you viewers, let us know what you think. Leave a comment below and let us know. Do you think Liverpool can win the league? And what is your top 4? I know what you think. But yeah, so that is the first topic I wanted to sort of discuss. The next topic, we can move on to Spurs.
Okay.
And
Let's do this.
let's really get into it because Jason last week, I think that you battered him a little bit. And a lot of people have been giving...
That was Shy Jason last week, by the way. That wasn't real Jason. That was Shy Jason.
Yeah, Jason's just getting into it. But has the power shift been activated now, Pat, on a real? Because Champions League final, where do you lot go from now? So you can't... Everybody don't think that you're going to win the league, which is fine. I don't expect you to. But are we now going to see a trophy? Because that's all the Arsenal people are clinging on to.
It's not just Arsenal, it's every fan. I mean, I've even spoken to Everton fans who've been
Everton?
say that.
You're not talking about...
When I look at it, I'm like, how could... But it's football. Every fan is entitled to their opinion, and every fan will always push their team.
Doesn't matter how wild their opinion is.
So, to be fair, where the Tottenham go from now, what do we do next? There's no excuses now. The stadium's complete. We're signing players. We're not in between stadiums as well. What happened last year?
Got a good manager.
We've got a great manager. We've got a great squad. There can't be any excuses. So for us, next year we really have to win a trophy. If it's the League Cup, if it's the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, Champions League is still a cup, even though it is considered, they say it's a league. It is a cup format.
It's a cup, man. Who says it's a league?
I know, but people don't really look at it like that in a sense. But it's a cup.
Cup competition. Yeah, cup competition.
We need to win something. I don't think we'll win the league. That's a big ask. I mean, at the end of the day, you never know. After these games start kicking off, you never know. But I really doubt it. But we have to win a cup. We've got a good enough team or squad to win a cup. I mean, last year we went out in the Carabao Cup semi-finals to Chelsea on penalties, and that's when Kane first got injured. So we were close enough.
You lot were better that game as well, if I remember correctly.
We should have won that game, man. Obviously, the Champions League finals, we lost to Liverpool. So again, we got close, but we weren't. So it's almost a thing with Tottenham. It's like close, but no cigar. So next season there has to be no excuses. Poch needs to be backed in his transfer window. I'm hearing good things. I think a few more will come in. We might lose 1 or 2 as well, which is also obviously something that I'm a bit worried about.
What's all of this I'm hearing about Rose?
Yeah,
like
Rose,
that came out of the blue to me.
It's not really.
It's
No?
not really. No, it's not.
Only
new.
because he's had these episodes before.
Yeah.
It's not out of the blue. I think with Danny Rose, he's a fan favourite. He's like, he's one of the players that I actually love. I remember when he first came on against Arsenal and scored that wonder goal.
What, in the fourth?
Yeah,
Was it the fourth?
we beat them.
Sorry?
I think we beat them 2-1 in that game.
Oh, sorry.
So the first ever time he came on,
Yeah,
and
that
he put
volley.
him on, that volley, and he came on. He was playing left midfielder, and I was like, who the fuck is this? When he first come on, I was like, who's this? He's like 18, 19, just come out, come through the ranks. And then ever since then, we've loved how he's progressed and how he's evolved and how he became. At one point, he was definitely the best left back in the league. Now he's, I won't say he's the best left back in the league, but he's still one of the better players. He's still one of the
I
better
agree,
players. But it's not really a surprise because we've all known Danny Rose's sentiments and how he feels. He's a guy that's loyal to the club. He's a guy that will speak his mind. We understand that there has been an offer. I mean, he's got 2 years left on his contract. We have offered him an extension, so there's 3 years left. At the moment, he's not signed it.
So who is it that's coming in for him at the moment?
We're looking at possibly Sessegnon.
Yeah. So where's he going?
So
He's gone down with Fulham, isn't it?
yeah, Fulham got relegated.
No, I mean Rose. Who's coming in for Rose? Because the talk is that there's somebody in for him basically, isn't it? Or talking to him.
He's been linked with PSG.
Okay.
That's probably possibly the strongest. There's other teams that are interested in looking at him. But the thing with Rose is that he's 28, 29. He's 29 now. He is quite injury prone as well. Don't forget that every season he does seem to have a few knocks. He does get. He's on a decent wage as well. So when you're looking at it, teams coming to take him, they've got to factor in all these factors. So we're allowing him to talk to teams. Doesn't mean he's going to go. He's also said that if he doesn't go, he's happy to fight for a spot. When they say fight for a spot, he is our number one left back. Let's be honest, and Rose is the number two. So I mean, if they do bring in Sessegnon, then it will be quite interesting to see what happens. But Sessegnon is almost like a utility left-sided player. He can play on the wing, he can play in midfield, and he can play as a left back. So,
do you rate Sessegnon?
I do. I highly rate him. I mean, he was Championship Player of the Year 2 seasons ago. People forget that as an 18-year-old. That's unheard of. He came into the Premier League. Fulham were awful. They had a misjointed, mismatched team. They went out and spent 100 million. The manager had no clue of what team he was playing together. Every other game, they changed the.
It was always going to be half a Ryan this year because when you're playing in a team that's fighting relegation, it is going to be so hard for him to shine. There's definitely a player there, 100%. Yeah. There's definitely a player there. Why he hasn't been picked up sooner, I don't really know because the window's closing.
I know it's well. I mean,
2 weeks.
We've always been interested
2 weeks.
Fulham are standing by their valuation of him, which is proven hard because obviously Tottenham don't want to pay that. They've also asked for a player in part of the deal. So the shout is that they wanted Wanyama. Wanyama obviously is not going to drop to the Championship because even if he's not playing well, he's been injured. He's not a Championship player.
He's a better player.
So the shout now is that they want Oliver Skipp, but we want to keep Skipp because Poch highly rates him and wants him to stay around the first team so he develops. But also, if he's not going to get that much game time, it is a possibility that he goes down to the Championship for a year and then plays there. So I think it will go down to the wire, but I do think we will get the Sessegnon brothers. They come as a package, so we'll get both of the brothers. I do rate him. I mean, going back to what you said, last year he still had 5 or 6 assists, 3 goals, and this was a kid that was not playing every game, not starting every game. Fulham were underperforming. I think they scored the least amount of goals in the Premier League, but he still did his bit. Yeah. So I do rate him. I do think there's a good player there. But he needs to now be around better players. He needs to knuckle down and he needs to get on with it.
Okay, so is it going to be the year now? It has to be. It has to be the year now, isn't it?
It's difficult. It's tough.
And then you can finally put them Arsenal man behind you, tell Carlos, sit down, Carlos, leave me alone now. You can't chat to me.
But it's difficult because all jokes aside, there's 6 top teams in the Premier League.
Yeah,
now. It's not a joke. It's not gone are the days where there was a set top 4. You kind of knew who was getting in there. You might get a surprise every other season, if that. There's 6 top teams now, and even when you look across it, the Premier League for me is the best league in Europe. That's kind of proven by the teams that got to the finals in both sets of our European competitions. Every year we have 5 or 6 or 5 or at least 4 or 5 teams making the Champions League. We would have had 5. Chelsea finished 3rd and they won the cup, so they could almost have 5 again in there. Yeah. When we get to Europe, we're pretty much beating every team now in terms of the top 4 or 5 in the Premier League, top 6. It's difficult. So
I've got a question for you then. So given the fact here that you're finishing above Arsenal every year, you're getting further than them in Champions Leagues than they would.
Going back to because I know a few Arsenal fans commented on some of my stuff last week. When Arsenal reached the Champions League, they were playing the Champions League for 10 years set, and they didn't get past the round of 16 ever. For the last 10 years, they've been knocked out of the last 15 every single round. So the fact that,
You know what we really know that now? You know that that meme,
Yeah.
the L meme by Mayweather. Put it up
For them Arsenal, man.
That is.
So when people
That's
say
a
has
harsh
the
fact.
power shift been activated, I think it has.
Yeah.
I think it has.
This is what I'm saying. You finish above them every single year.
Yeah.
You get further in the Champions
Yeah.
League. You've got a better stadium than
Better
them
stadium,
now.
better manager.
You're
Better
playing.
players.
You're playing better
I mean,
football.
to be honest, who are Arsenal going to attract? I mean, the players I'm seeing them link with, Tierney. He's a solid wing back.
Left back, yeah.
Yeah, left back, wing back. He's a good player. They're looking to get Ceballos in on loan. That Saliba guy, they're going to sign him by the looks of it, but then they're sending him back out on loan. Who are they going to bring in that's actually going to push that team on?
Yeah.
When I'm looking at these players, I'm not excited. As a fan of football, I'm not excited.
Are you excited?
I mean,
What do you think of Arsenal, John?
you know what? And I think I put a meme up the other day saying, something about my dad being an Arsenal supporter, but I feel so sorry for you guys because I see my dad and he
Going
can't
through
even,
pain.
Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, and this team who he's loved, he can't even look at them. Like, it's a bit like I don't know, like. If you were to find out that your girl was cheating on you, you just can't look at her the same no more. Like, it's tough. I don't know how you guys do it, honestly, like day in, day out. And I guess what makes it worse for them is that Spurs are on the trajectory of becoming a very successful team. I'm just worried. I'll be honest. I'm just genuinely worried. I don't see where they go. I don't see, where's that path of like, all right, do you know what? If they focus on this player, then maybe it might. I just don't even see that because Ozil's going to be at the door soon. Regardless of what's going on there with him, he's going to be out the door soon.
Yeah.
So is Aubameyang and Lacazette. If they're not winning
as a
anything.
football fan, I think Arsenal fantastic going forward. They have a great front two. I mean, they score a lot of goals, but what concerns me is just like it doesn't make sense why they're focusing on Zaha, they're focusing on Ceballos, they're focusing on a defender they're going to bring in who's still raw. Not proven he's meant to be a really good player, but they're sending him back on loan. Why are you not bringing in guys now that will make a difference next season? There's no one that they're looking at or at the moment that they're in talks with or targeting that will come in and really, step that team up for next year. We all know they got problems at the centre back positions. Why are they not trying to get Lewis Dunk or Duffy or a decent centre back that's proven that will come in and do a job? Why are they not looking around Europe? There's plenty of good young centre backs that they could bring in. So I just don't understand what's going on there. At the moment.
I think regardless of that, it's going to be a very interesting. This season especially is going to be very, very interesting for Arsenal. Very interesting because if it does really get bad for them, I see a lot of players leaving.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like a Lacazette or an Aubameyang team for another 2 years.
I know.
Can you envision?
Yeah, with no Champions League football because they're good players. They're top players.
I just don't.
Because you almost forget that they're not playing Champions League, are they? And they haven't been playing Champions League for a minute.
Yeah.
Like at least with us, we've had a little bit of Champions League recently. It's only now it's going to be peak, but they ain't had Champions League for a minute.
And you got some good players there that are not playing in Champions League. Aubameyang should be playing Champions League.
Mkhitaryan, I know he's not performed great when he's been over here, but he's a top. He was a top talent. He was number one player in Germany. Number one player in Germany. So I just think I just don't see where Arsenal go from. I just don't see what is next for Arsenal, and that's what's genuinely worrying. I can't really say more about it,
All right. So anyway, we'll wrap that topic up now. Again, guys, viewers, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Can Arsenal improve? Can Arsenal break into the top 4 next year?
Do you think the Powerships are activated?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Because I just don't rate Arsenal anymore. I don't rate Arsenal.
And it's scary because I don't know about you, but there were times when we would play Arsenal, and I was genuinely scared about what they got. But now I play Arsenal, that fear is gone.
It's funny.
And that's what's scary. It's not the fact that they're still a big club. I'm not trying to say they're rubbish or anything like that. But what I'm saying is that fear of playing Arsenal. It's gone out the window. I'm not saying this just for shots, but I get it with Man United as well.
100%.
A little bit, not as much as Arsenal, for me. But I'm just saying, no. I'm being honest. Nah. That fear that I used to have has gone.
You said that. I touched on it last week. Obviously, derby days. No matter no matter where you are in the league, no matter how I always had that funny feeling on derby days. I'm excited, but I hate it at the same time because you know it could either make your week or break your week. And I used to be shit scared when we were playing Arsenal because I knew we were going to get battered, humiliated, and obviously I would just get roasted all week. But now I'm going into them excited. And even if we do lose, I know I still got the comfort that we'll probably finish above them, probably have a better season, and so on and so forth. So you're right. When I look at playing Arsenal more, I'm not worried, I'm not scared, I'm excited. So it's that again just goes to show how things have changed and evolved over the last few seasons.
Definitely been some evolution in the game, but we're gonna go for a little break now. If you've made it this far, press that like button and subscribe. A lot of you watching not subscribing, press the subscribe button, but we'll be back in a moment.